Good morning, and a beautiful spring morning it is, and today I am in the beautiful little village of Whitchurch Canonicorum. Bit of a mouthful, that one. Whitchurch, I believe, is the Whit comes from white church. Canonicorum, I believe, is something to do with payments made to other church administrations, something like that. I may have to have a look that up. But it's a very interesting little place. What makes this special is this actually contains the relics, so parts of the body of a saint, which is Saint White. Saint White isn't particularly well known. Not much is known about her. Some say that she was given her sainthood by the Danes, but there's not a lot of information about Saint White, but we do have the relics in there of a saint. So there's also a couple of other interesting things about this church and the people that have been laid here. So we're going to have a quick look. Very intricate. Charles drew it. I think this is a effigy of Saint White. Although I don't think anyone actually knows what she actually looked like. Funny how sometimes certain headstones just sort of stand out. And that one certainly does. Oh, I see, this is, I'm assuming, a former reverend of the church. There's one headstone that I'm particularly looking for. Oh, these are sadly relatively new ones. Love the calligraphy on that, that's beautiful. Wow. So this is what makes this church so special. This is the shrine of Saint White, and yes, there was bones actually found in there, and people leave all sorts of prayer offerings in there. So it's not often you see a saint's shrine anywhere, certainly not in Dorset, but here we are, Saint White. I think that's Latin for "Here lies the remains of Saint White." There must be somewhere where you can get those prayer requests here. Well, there we are, my parents William, John and Ethel Swain, for the restoration of the shrine windows. So unfortunately some of the winter weather is creating a bit of dampness in here. So it looks like we've got a knight here. I must admit I'm not particularly good at my Roman. Is that 1011? I'll have to have a look at it a bit later. Here we are, look, Admiral Sir George Somers, shipmate of Sir Walter Raleigh, coloniser of Bermuda, born near Lyme Regis. Buried beneath the old chantry. I believe that his heart is in Bermuda and the rest of his body was put in pickles or vinegar and shipped back. And I think he had quite a send-off from all accounts. Muskets firing, etc. Very brave man up there, Edgar Christopher Cookson, Victoria Cross, distinguished. Oh, I'm not good at that. Distinguished service, something. No, I'll have to double check that. Some ringwood. Well, it certainly is an incredible building. Oh, there's the prayer requests. I don't know if I'm whispering, but it just seems as though you've got to whisper when you're in a church. Church warden. I've no idea what that is up there. I don't know if we can film that and have a look at that later. Can't see that at all, but we'll have a look. Children's corner. Look at that. So the first rector, 1080. Wow. That's incredible. That is absolutely incredible. Who is Saint White? "900 years of continuous ministry." Wow. This might help me find who I'm looking for. Wow, it's so peaceful out here, just birds. Spring has definitely sprung. It's incredible, beautiful. Right, I've got to have a little hunt because I believe the one I'm looking for is somewhere around here. Okay, so I've eventually found the grave I was looking for. I didn't realise how difficult it was. But this is the grave of Georgi Markov, novelist and playwright, most dearly loved by his wife. Now, what is really interesting about this one, he was actually assassinated in London by the Bulgarian Secret Service in collaboration with the KGB. And it was an umbrella that had a pellet in it, and he was stabbed in the leg, and apparently it contained ricin. And yeah, it just sort of blows my mind that something like that, I mean at the time it was big news, and he's laying in this beautiful churchyard in Whitchurch, Cannon Creekorium. you have to excuse my pronunciation. I have got a little bit about him. I'll just read it while we show you the actual grave. So Georgi was born March 1929 and was assassinated September 1978. His native country was the People's Republic of Bulgaria. He worked for the BBC World Service, Radio Free Europe, and a German news agency called Deutsche Welle. It does go on to say about the micro-engineered pellet. I believe the replica of the umbrella is in some spy museum somewhere. And basically he was just too outspoken of the regime at the time. And yeah, quite unbelievable. It's an awful thing, and here he is all these miles from home, laying in this beautiful, beautiful place. He was an accomplished author as well, but have a look on YouTube. You'll find some information about him, about the story, and that's quite fitting, isn't it? What a beautiful day. So yes, so apart from a saint, we have this man who fought for freedom of his country, decided that he was going to be outspoken, and the authorities didn't like what he was saying, and that's how they dealt with him. Things haven't changed too much, have they? In fact, I was just leaving, I just noticed, obviously, the inscription there is in English, and the rear of the headstone is what I can only imagine is in his late native tongue. Sorry, it's very dark, but it's weird because when I saw photographs of it, I saw the inscription, didn't read it, but I noticed that the church was behind it. And when I was walking around, I thought, this is really strange because everyone is laying the other way. So how could the church be in the foreground? But that's obviously what it is. There's photographs of him, of that headstone, with the native language rather than the English inscription. So what an amazing church. I was just reading an original church was built or founded by Alfred the Great in the 9th century, but nothing remains of that one. So this was I believe this may have been started around the 11th century. William the Conqueror gave ownership of the church to the monks of St Waldril's Monastery in Normandy, France. They done a major reconstruction and expansion of the building in the 12th century. And then in the 13th century it's handed over to Robert de Mandeville, Lord of Marshwood Vale. And then over the years there's been further renovations and expansions, but what an interesting place. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this this little video, and if you like it, I might do some more.